Welcome to the Torrent Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Nick, alongside co-hosts Alan and Matt. Guys, how's it going?
Going amazing, actually. So I just had my robotics competition over the weekend. It was the New England Regional Championship, and my team won. For the first time in our history, we won the New England Regional Championship. So
congrats, dude. How's that feel? How's it feel to be a champ?
Dude, just amazing. It was There was so much energy. It was just insane. I just remember us winning and just everything was a blur. Me just sprinting mad dash down to the field, just constantly screaming the whole time, just and just tackling the students and just lifting them up and hugging them all while still screaming. And
was it a stout victory, or was it a nail biter, close call match?
It was so close. It was wow. I think it's best of 3 through all the finals and stuff. So the very, very last final, we were up against the other side of the bracket, and it went to 3 games. So we won the first, lost the second, and then the third one, I think it was a difference of 4 points or something. It was super narrow margin.
Wow,
it was insane. So shout out to 558 and all my students for a great job this weekend.
Awesome. And if you don't know what Alan's talking about, it's the first robotics competition, right? It's something they do across the country. It's for high school kids, right, with professional mentors who help them, and it's a really good program. It promotes cooperation, I think is the hot button word. Yeah. So it's something that we did in high school, and post high school, Alan has transitioned into kind of a full-time mentor over there. So his team won. Nice job, Alan. Yeah.
So we'll be going to Detroit in a couple of weeks for the World Championships.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I just wanted to let you know, Alan, I was talking to Cece, for those of you who don't know, my girlfriend, and I was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna record the podcast tomorrow. I was like, Alan's had a super busy weekend because his team is doing so well and they have all these competitions, and she's like, oh well, it's probably because they have a really great coach. And I was like, oh nice. And she's like, yeah, you can tell him I said that.
Oh well, thank you, Cece.
I appreciate that from us over here.
Oh, thanks, guys.
All right, so guys, on this episode, instead of doing news stories, this is a big weekend going on in entertainment. Not only did we have the Masters going on this weekend and NHL playoffs, which, by the way, are the best playoffs in sports. I don't care what anybody says.
Hell yeah.
Not only do we have those great sports events going on, we also had Star Wars Celebration and Game of Thrones. We'll keep that on the side, obviously, but and Star Wars Celebration, which is our essentially Comic-Con specifically for Star Wars fans. It's a big celebration. It's where Lucasfilm and Disney and anything related to Star Wars, they unveil their new products, their new shows, their new movies, anything that's coming out in the world of Star Wars, and they unveil it to the world for the first time. And it's a big thing, and they have a lot of guest stars and a lot of panels, and that's going on this weekend. And as it's kind of wrapping up, a lot of news came out of this that is related both to Star Wars and to some not Star Wars specifically, but it has to do with it. So we wanted to give a new episode where we kind of just recapped all the stuff that was revealed in Star Wars Celebration this year. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's just dive right into it here, guys.
No intro or anything. They're like, "This is a Star Wars download. This is a Star Wars download. Download." No, it's fine.
Yeah, dude. Take that and just be just cut Alan's voice into saying
that. So the first thing that came out almost day one of the event was details about Disney Plus. We've talked about Disney Plus on the show for a couple episodes now. Disney Plus being their dedicated streaming service that's going to have and that's going to have a lot of Disney content on it. And it did come out that at launch, Disney Plus will have every animated Disney movie on there, their entire library of films, both live action and animated. At launch, we will be getting, in terms of new content, we'll be getting Captain Marvel available at launch. So probably they're going to coordinate the DVD release of Captain Marvel with the streaming service. And also, and we're going to talk about this a little later on the show, Disney Plus's new live action Star Wars show, The Mandalorian, will be available also at launch. We also got, in terms of the Marvel side, we got announcements and logos, which I think are going to be available at launch. Maybe not, but they're pretty much continuations of the story of the Avengers after Avengers Endgame, and that's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We got Scarlet Witch and Vision. They're getting their own separate show. We're also getting a Loki show and I think a Hawkeye show as well. So we're getting four new shows related to the Avengers on that streaming service as well. That'll be exclusive to that web series. They're not web series, but streaming service. So that's a lot of content, guys. And you're looking at me and you're going, well, how much is this going to cost a month? Is this going to be like $1 million? You know, is this going to be a $20 service a month? Well, at launch, the price will be $6.99 a month or $69 for the year. Incredible price point. Now that's obviously going to hike up, you know, at some point.
It has to.
It has to. But at launch, day one, $6.99 a month or $69 for the year. Nice, by the way, for those of you out there who like that. What do you guys think of the details for Disney Plus? Are you excited? Are you going to get this right away? How are you guys feeling about the streaming service?
I think it's cool. Like, I think it's great that there's all this content. There's all this stuff that you can get in one place. Every Disney movie, a bunch of the Marvel Universe stuff. It's great. It's just like, man, there are so many streaming services out there now. It's like there's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's HBO.
Yeah.
And like, if I have all these already, like, am I really going to pay like another monthly fee to like get this other streaming service? And like, am I going to cut out another one? I just feel like it's unless you're a really, really dedicated Disney or Marvel fan, it's like, man, another streaming service add on is like, it's tough. It's cool, like, if my mom gets it and like my Netflix account, I just like mooch off of my mom's money and just like, then yeah, I'll definitely use it and stuff. But like to just like sign up for all these monthly subscription things, like from somebody who is like financially like reasonable, it's like a hard thing to do to just sign up for something that you're going to pay month after month after month for, unless you're really, really dedicated to get it. So
I agree with you. It sucks that that's another thing that you have to spend monthly money on for entertainment. That it seems to be the way the market is going now, unfortunately, is that everyone's coming out with their own streaming service, and as people tend to cut the cord more, you're going to see more streaming services pop up, which kind of sucks. But that is the way the market's going. Matt, how are you feeling about this?
I actually like this because I hate cable and all cable companies, and I like this because with cable you have to pay so much money for stuff you aren't going to watch. And this, it's like, I probably won't watch this very much, so I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I love Superstore and Modern Family, and I would definitely get my money's worth with Hulu, and I do.
Yeah.
And Netflix is also great. So I'm, like, super content now, and I don't mind the streaming because I hate cable, and I just want everyone to not support cable.
Yeah.
So, although, really, they probably own everything. Like, Comcast, I think, owns, like, everything basically. So
yeah, anything Disney doesn't own is owned. The rest of it is owned by Comcast, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever, but still,
Yeah.
I think, I'm okay with this.
are you going to get Disney Plus, Matt?
No, probably not.
Which is my point. Like, it's just like, it's another thing to add on.
Well,
Like, I think it's fine. I think it makes sense. It's just like, it's another thing that you have to sign up for that, like,
I think if you're a fan of all the Disney movies and you want those, I mean, because like right now, unless you own a DVD of certain movies, you can't watch a Disney movie. Like, there's some that are locked away in their vault or whatever that only get released every so often. So unless you have a way to watch it, you can't watch it. So for those people who are really into those movies, for sure, you know, this might be something they're interested in, especially if you have kids and you want a lot of content, a lot of movie content that's probably safe, that you're not actually going to click on Daredevil and watch Daredevil punch some dude through a fucking window and blood and guts all everywhere. You're not going to accidentally click on Game of Thrones and see some you know what I mean? This is going to be a nice, safe streaming service for kids to watch a lot of content, which would be good. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of stuff for adults, a la the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff, and any of the new Star Wars content, and it's going to have the full line of MCU movies day one also. So you're going to have every single MCU movie available as well. So
that's, but like Alan, my point about it is like I'm not going to watch that, so I don't need to buy it, so it doesn't matter. But if it was like something I was super into, then I wouldn't mind paying for it.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. I think like if you're into Disney and Marvel, it makes sense. Like I think it's a good thing that they're doing for people that are big fans of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's smart that they're doing it at such a cheap price point to start to kind of get people on board.
Yeah, for me that price point was huge because I think I do want to get the service day one once it comes out. It comes out in November, by the way, of this year. I think I do want to get the streaming service because I definitely want to watch The Mandalorian as soon as possible. And I'm not really sold on the new Marvel spin-off shows that they're coming out with, besides maybe the Hawkeye one. The Hawkeye one seems kind of cool, but the rest of them I'm just kind of like, whatever. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Bless you, by the way, Alan.
I was muted, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were, but I saw you go.
That doesn't mean Nick has to be impolite about it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. I was trying to be polite.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm going to get this at launch, and if you got to share the password with a couple people to start off with before they really get sold on it, then you got to do that. I mean, people do that with Netflix now. They're cracking down on it, but it's inevitable. I mean, you can't expect, like you guys were saying off the top, you can't expect everyone to buy every single streaming service, especially if they're a fan of a lot of different entertainment and not share passwords and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so let's roll this right into the announcement that came out at the time of this recording this afternoon. Information about the show came out this afternoon, and that is The Mandalorian. This is Disney's flagship show that's coming out. It's brand new content. It takes place between the time of episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and episode 7, The Force Awakens, and this is kind of right after the Empire falls, and there's kind of a power vacuum where the New Republic hasn't really established itself yet. Everything's kind of in flux, and it's kind of the Wild West out there. So we got to look at some footage from today. The Mandalorian stars Pedro Pascal, which, if you guys have watched our Triple Frontier review, we were just talking about him. He's also the Red Viper from Game of Thrones. He's going to be playing the title character of the Mandalorian. Also starring in that is Gina Carano from Deadpool fame. She was in Deadpool 1. She's in American Gladiator. She's been in a couple other things, mostly as an action person. And finally, starring Carl Weathers, who is from, most famously, Apollo Creed from the Rocky franchise. So he's also in the show. A couple other famous actors are going to show up as well, but the whole thing is run and produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And we got to see some footage from Star Wars Celebration. What did you guys think overall of the look, the vibe, the details you kind of heard about what the show is going to be? How do you guys feel? How are you guys feeling about this?
I think it looks awesome. I'm slowly getting on board. Nick, you're helping me tremendously with getting on board with Star Wars. But
yeah,
I think this looks very cool. I think bounty hunters are awesome, and I really don't think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but I don't think there's enough focus on them in the Star Wars universe, right?
And that's yes, and that's why I think they decided to do the show. It's because we get a little bit of flavor of that in the original trilogy. We get a little bit of even less of that in the prequel trilogy, and we get almost no mention of it in the sequel trilogy, the kind of underworld, the bounty hunter realm. And so this series is going to serve kind of what that is, and which is really cool. And so there's going to be a lot less emphasis on the Force and Jedi, and more about the scum and villainy and the like the gritty underworld aspects of the Star Wars universe that a lot of people love, and I think is going to really get in favor with a lot of new people as well for Star Wars. So yeah, for sure.
Which is cool because I feel like the Jedi and like the Sith are like the 1%ers of like the Jedi world, and so like you hear all these cool stories and stuff, but you don't hear about like the other like the other
Yeah.
population that like exists in these worlds.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and so like I think it's kind of cool to like actually get this like little more of like a down to earth and like, all right, this is what the everyday people are like, and this is like the like the real intense shit that they have to go through to survive and stuff.
Right,
So-
right. And we gotta. Oh, go ahead, Alan. Sorry.
Oh, and I thought this whole like thing was kind of cool because I actually had no idea that Boba Fett, who was like he's a Mandalorian, right, from like the original one.
Now, actually,
Right?
he's not. He wears Mandalorian armor, but I'm gonna nerd out on you here a little bit. But he's not Mandalorian. So.
Oh, so that's like a whole nother thing then. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought like I didn't think Boba Fett was like his own race or whatever. They're like a race, right? Of, like,
But
are they a race of humans or they're like a whole different?
I forget where Jango Fett was from, and then obviously he took one of the clones and made Boba Fett, based on Episode 2. But I don't know what race of humans or what species or whatever they are in the Star Wars universe. But I do know the Mandalorians are kind of like essentially a warrior race. That are kind of like I would say maybe like the Spartan warriors of Greek mythology. They're kind of like bred for war. There's a lot of turmoil in their history, and they're kind of just like just overall badasses. So whether this title character of the show is actually Mandalorian or if he's just masquerading as a Mandalorian, we'll see. But he definitely is wearing the armor and all the promotional images. And for those of you who don't know, it's the helmet and the gear that kind of look like Boba Fett and Jango Fett. That's like the Mandalorian style armor.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Cool.
I'm like I said off the top, I'm super excited for the show. I think it's gonna be cool. I like all the actors involved. I like Pedro Pascal a lot, so I want to see what he's gonna do with a character like this. Yeah. So Matt, I know you said you're not keen on Disney Plus, but are you keen on trying to watch the show whenever you can? It's to some degree.
I'd watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. The show looks cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably won't watch it because there's just like so much other stuff. I don't watch TV very often, only unless I'm eating. And it's like I probably won't. But if we're hanging out and like there's a new episode and you want to watch it, I would definitely watch it with you.
I'd gladly share a password with you, Matt, for sure.
Thanks, dude. So yeah,
We are called the Torrent Podcast, so if we don't skirt the rules once in a while,
That's
I guess.
right.
What are we doing here?
Bad boys of the podcast world.
Cool. So also then on top of The Mandalorian, a little down the line, we're going to get a Cassian Andor series, which is the guy from Rogue One, which seems to be, in talking with some people, I think Rogue One is slowly growing into a lot of people's favorite Star Wars movie, just the vibe of that, the war aspect of that film. So we're getting a kind of like a prequel to Rogue One in a form of a Cassian Andor series. So that's coming along the way. We're also going to be getting some new movie trilogies as well. And we're going to get a couple different ones. One, Rian Johnson, who directed Episode 8, is getting his own trilogy at some point. And then also, Alan, the guys who kind of direct and produce the Game of Thrones series, they're getting their own trilogy of Star Wars movies, which we haven't really gotten any information on, but I know it's coming. And I think it's going to be set way back, like thousands of years before any of the current movies. And it might be the formation of the Jedi and the Sith, something having to do with that. Pretty much like the Roman times of the Star Wars universe, like old world Star Wars. So that sounds pretty cool. I think I'd be pretty amped. So like the Old Republic video game, like that kind of style thing, like way back. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So I'd be really excited. Yeah, because if you go watch the game, not the story trailers for the Old Republic video games, like all that cinematography and the animated shorts that they have out are so good. It's like peak Star Wars. Like it's something you'd want out of any Star Wars film ever. So if they do anything like that, that's going to be awesome. Matt, I'll have to show you those after this, the Old Republic. Everyone go check out the Old Republic. I think there's a video up there that has every one of them back to back to back. But yeah, so that's all coming to Disney Plus at some point. So then moving on to let's get away from movies and TV for a second. We'll talk about Galaxy's Edge. So they're very close to opening the new Star Wars centric Disney park, which is called Star Wars Galaxy Edge. And we also got a lot of details revealed about it this weekend. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on there. So first off, the world of this Galaxy's Edge is going to be very similar to Harry Potter world at Universal Studios. It's going to be, you're going to fully immerse yourself in the Star Wars universe. They're going to have a real life Millennium Falcon that you can walk around in. They're going to have a bunch of cantinas. You're going to every person working in the park has a character that they need to play. So they're going to be in character the whole time. You're probably going to see stormtroopers walking around, picking on people, trying to take them away or something like that. You can build your own lightsaber. They got spots to build your own lightsaber or a droid, so you can bring your very own customized droid. There's a phone app which essentially turns your phone into a data pad, which you can hack, slice, do a bunch of interactive things around the park with it. It's similar to the wand, like in Harry Potter world, where you can go up to certain spots in the park and do magic. The phone app is going to be very similar. There's also going to be a mini game within the app, which you can choose whether you want to be the good guys or the bad guys. And there's going to be daily battles of who gets control of the park, whether the First Order or the Resistance. Similar to, Matt, how we play For Honor, and how you have the map system and you get to take control of territories, like it's like a flowing thing. So you can do that as well. And there's also the ride of the Rise of the Resistance, I think, is one of the featured rides there. That's going to be 30 minutes plus long. That's going to be a ridiculous ride. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is going to be crazy. And then there's a bunch of miscellaneous details. Just so much information came out of it. So anything I just said, how do you guys feeling about this new Disney park that's coming out? It sounds pretty awesome. Oh, by the way, all the hotels are like completely decked out as Star Wars hotels. So it's going to feel like you're staying like in Star Wars. It's going to be crazy.
Dude, I want to go to this. I wanted to go to the Harry Potter World one for like so long. This one I think I want to go to even more because I feel like I'm even more invested in Star Wars than I am in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it just looks amazing.
I think they have a real life TIE fighter they're going to be sitting around, Alan.
Stop.
Yeah.
Dude, I would just take my money, Disney, all right? God, let me go to this place.
No, right? It sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely going to plan a visit to this once it gets up and going. Once it's kind of been in place for a little while and the crowds die down a little, I'll definitely check this out.
Yeah, the crowd factor's a real deal breaker for me. If I got to walk around in a crowd of people like sheep just to try to see some stuff, I'm not going to have a good time. Like, I want it to be settled down a little bit. So, got to go in the off season and like wait a little bit, before we go.
Definitely. I think I'm most excited for the cantinas, though. I think those are going to be really like cool and have that like sort of underground look to it. And I'm sure there'll be like some like bands playing there and some weird instruments. And
oh yeah, for sure.
You walk up to the bars, order like some weird ass drink, and just
and that is going to be a thing in the article I'm looking at. There is there are special drinks that's going to be featured that's going to do some cool things with like dry ice and a bunch of effects. So they're all smoking, they're all cool little drinks and stuff. And it looks like you can also get a glass of blue and green milk for the kids, which is a thing in Star Wars. And looks like all the dishes and food stuff is going to be like Star Wars-esque. They're going to try to make it look as Star Wars-y as possible in terms of presentation of plating and all that stuff. So it's going to be a full line thing. Matt, how are you feeling about this right now? You big parks guy? I'm not a big theme park guy, but this sounds like too good to like. This sounds like it's a must-see thing. You know what I mean?
So I normally like vacations where I'm in nature and away from people because every day of my life I'm surrounded by people and away from nature.
Yep.
So I do think this sounds awesome. All those perks that you said, like with it just sounds so cool, and I think I would have to see it. And if you guys go, I would obviously go with you. But
be a fun little group trip.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should do that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Should be our boys trip one year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. I'd do that with you guys. So yeah, it sounds very cool. I'd go.
All right, cool, nice. We'll get you there, man. We'll get you.
Yeah, I believe it.
So then we'll go to the video games next. So yesterday, we also got a look at the new the new Star Wars video game by EA. But in reality, it's produced. No, I think it's produced by EA, but the guys who are developing the game is actually Respawn Entertainment. Obviously, of Call of Duty fame, of Titanfall fame, and more recently, Apex Legends fame. Oh yeah. So they're making this new game called Jedi Fallen Order, which I think takes place right after Order 66. So Matt, if you remember in Star Wars Episode 3, Order 66, the Emperor made the decision to have the entire galaxy essentially turn against the Jedi, say they're going against the Republic. So now he killed a bunch of Jedi, and the game takes place, and you're going to be playing as a character called Cal, I think, and he is a young Jedi who survives the Order 66 and has to hide out and kind of hide from the stormtroopers, hide from the Empire. And we do know this game is going to be a single-player, story-driven action game, and from what I've heard, it's going to play similar to either something like a Bloodborne or a Dark Souls, or even like the new God of War game. If it could play something like that, so that kind of style game. Obviously, Star Wars story driven, and the other detail was your lightsaber is going to be heavily customizable. So it's almost like a character in the game. So you're going to have a lot of upgrades for your lightsaber. You get to change the look and the feel of the lightsaber also. So what do you guys think about this new game called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
I want to be able to make the floppy penis lightsaber, like from the Family
like
Guy.
Saints Row, the dildo sword or whatever.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think the game sounds cool. It's not my favorite genre or type of game, so I won't be playing it. But Nick, if you get it, I would definitely watch you play.
I'll definitely stream it on our Twitch page, or share play with you guys and let you guys try it out or something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Alan, how you feel?
I'm a little concerned it might fall in the same kind of scenario that like the new Spider-Man game did, where it was like had a whole lot of hype, had a lot of like coolness about it, and like then it sort of just kind of fell off the planet like 2 weeks later because just people who played it, and then everything else that they like threw and just kind of got repetitive. And
yeah,
I'm wondering, I'm hoping that the story will be like really good and really driving, tell a cool, unique story, but like then they might just make a movie using that story rather than make a video game using that story. So
well, I think
I'm curious to see.
Yeah, I think Star Wars in terms of video games needs a big win because EA has really fumbled the responsibility of the new Star Wars games. And I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, I mean, part of the reason why I'm such a big Star Wars fan is because of the video games. The old video games that they used to have for Star Wars were some of the best around, and they were so fun, and they brought so much to the lore and so much other stuff. And this new version of video games for Star Wars has not been great, especially with, we got 2 Battlefront games in 6 years, and EA with all the microtransaction bullshit and stuff it's been nuts. So I think they really need a nice story-driven game, a really solid game that's not just a first-person shooter, to really bring this back in. And this game might be that game. Now, I'm really happy that Respawn's doing this game, but they've been primarily a first-person shooter company. So to see them do a third-person lightsaber action-heavy combat game is going to be interesting. I don't know. I was impressed with the trailer, but I want to see gameplay. That's what I'm really looking for before I make a decision on this game.
Definitely.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next thing. And here it is, the big guy. Friday. They had a big giant panel, and they released the teaser trailer for Star Wars Episode 9.
Oh,
Alan,
boy.
I'll let you start this off here.
So yeah, this trailer starts off just so intense.
I know.
You just hear like this like panic breathing, and you see Rey, and then you see this like a ship behind her approaching her, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, that's totally Kylo Ren. They're totally gonna fight. Some shit's going down, and then it cuts to her just like standing there looking all like intensely off in the distance, and then I don't even remember what it cuts to after that, but then all of a sudden, like, Kylo Ren's like in this huge battle and like picks up this dude and slams him into the ground, and like cuts back to Rey and she's like jumping over the ship, and you're like, there's gonna be some action going down in this. It's gonna be crazy.
Yep. Yeah, and then we saw like Oscar Isaac's character, Poe Dameron, and we saw Finn, and they're zipping around on like these skiffs, and we saw some, and then we hear at the end, we hear the Emperor laugh, which is crazy.
Palpatine, right?
Was
that supposed to be Palpatine?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Palpatine. Man. So, what's going on in this movie? No idea. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up, I mean, the trailer is awesome. Like, it makes me so excited to see it. I can't wait till December when it comes out. But Matt, we've mentioned it on the show thousands of times. We've only watched episodes 1 through 3. That's as far as you're caught up. You've seen the original trilogy, but like a long time ago. You probably don't even remember them. So we got to catch you up. But you watched this trailer, and actually I texted both of you when it dropped, and I said, this trailer is fucking awesome, and I sent a little gif of like Kylo Ren doing the body slam on somebody.
Yeah.
And sometime between then, Matt, you must have watched the trailer. Now, you have no context. You have no idea what the story, with like who these characters are, what's going on.
No.
What did you think of this trailer? Did you think it was cool? Did you like it? Are you excited? Does this make you want to see the other movies? What? Are you very indifferent?
So I think while I was watching it, Alan and I were like talking, and he listened to my response, and I was just like, oh, okay, that looks cool. And like the backflip over the TIE fighter, whatever thing, was pretty sweet. I was like, that's cool. The body slam was sweet. And then I was just kind of like, oh, okay. It's like a normal movie kind of stuff. And then like, I'm pretty sure I did recognize the Emperor's laugh at the end. And I was like, I guess he's back. And I was just like, it didn't really, I was not impressed. I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Wow. Interesting.
I know, but like Alan was just getting so pumped up about like Rey and Kylo Ren fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was Kylo Ren's ship. And I'm assuming it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that's correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't have any context. So to me, it was just like, oh, it's like an action movie. It looks cool, I guess. To me, and I'm pretty sure when I was watching it, I was like, nothing even happened. Like,
well, it is a teaser trailer. They're not going to give away anything. The movie doesn't come out till Christmas.
I know, but that was just my reaction. I guess.
Wow, interesting. Okay, this didn't really make you want to see any of the other Star Wars more than normal?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I still want to see them.
Okay.
It didn't really.
Okay.
I have no context. This didn't pump me up. I don't think this would have pumped me up because I don't like. They said something in the beginning like you have the universe inside of you, something like that. And I was just like, I guess that's probably a spoiler or something that I don't understand.
Not really.
Okay. Well, either way, I was all right. I was just kind of like, seems cool.
Okay.
I bet you, I would get pumped up when I get caught up.
Sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
In a few years or whatever that happens.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully.
Or this week, Nick. Who knows?
Hopefully
what
this week. Yeah. Start watching them this week.
So Nick, what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah. No, okay. So first off, it's interesting to see. Well, it'd be interesting to see where they're going because Episode 8 was so divisive of a film, and it's going to be interesting to see if they kind of retcon a little bit from what happened last movie, or if they completely go in another direction. But either way, everything I've seen, like I'm a big Kylo Ren fan. For some reason, he's like becoming one of my most favorite characters in Star Wars. I just think he's a very interesting character. He's got so many layers to him, and so I'm very interested to see where they're going with it. I think the Finn and Poe stuff looks awesome. And I just think, J.J. Abrams is such a good filmmaker. He just sets up shots, and I think visually, the movie looks incredible. Like it's awesome. So obviously, I'm so excited for this movie, and this summer is going to be really fun. So I want to like take it slow and take it day by day with till Christmas. But man, Christmas can't come soon enough because I want to see this movie real bad.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for it. I think I'm just can't wait to watch it. It's not like on the same level as Endgame, but it's up there. Like it's like Endgame is going to be like amazing, incredible. This is also going to be amazing, incredible. Like
See, for me, if you had a gun to my head and like you're like 2 movie theaters and you say you got to go in left or right and it's either Avengers Endgame or Star Wars Episode 9, I'm picking Episode 9. Like,
really,
I think I know where Endgame's going more than where Star Wars is going right now, and so that's why. Yeah.
I might like cut off like an arm or something and throw it over into the Star Wars one, but like I think the rest of my body's gonna go into the Avengers.
Okay, all right, cool.
But, like, I definitely am pumped for both. So.
Oh, me too. But if you had to put a gun to my head to pick, I would say Star Wars. I'm more excited about that one, but cool. Yeah, so that kind of puts a wrap on Star Wars Celebration here. We're gonna get some probably more details as today wraps up. But yeah, so I thought a lot of information came out. Matt, I'm a little bummed you weren't as excited. Well, just visually though, from what you've seen, like the action stuff, and I mean, does it kind of get you like, oh, okay, I can get on board with what's going on here with the aesthetic and everything? I know you said you're more of a medieval guy as opposed to like a space guy. So like,
that's really the big thing. I think.
Okay.
I mean, I do think the world is cool. I remember just watching it with you and finally connecting the dots and being like, oh, this is really sweet and like really deep.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's just I don't know. I think I just have to watch more. I think that's all it is.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, hopefully we can get the final trilogy out of the way, or at least the original trilogy, and then start the prequel trilogy, and then hopefully you can catch up here before Christmas, so that way we can all go see it together, or at least see it around the same time, so we can do a nice review on Episode 9. So I think that'd be awesome. All right, cool. To cap it off here, tonight, Alan, real quick, Game of Thrones premiere at the time of this recording. Yeah. About ready to have a huge throner, as they say.
Throner.
Throner.
Come on.
Game of Thrones rager. Let's do it.
Hopefully it's going to be a great premiere episode. I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit of a setup episode. Like, pieces are just going to move, and they're going to slowly get ready for the big battle, the scene that's about to come up in Episode 3. But super excited for the Game of Thrones premiere. And yeah,
I think the opposite, actually. I think some shit's gonna go down, and then they're gonna like go into some setup stuff. I think they're gonna throw us in like hard real quick.
That would be awesome too. I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. So
we'll see. We'll have to talk about it.
So everyone out there, enjoy the Game of Thrones premiere. Probably by the time you hear this, it'll be well over. So hopefully we all enjoyed the Game of Thrones premiere. And so cool, guys. Good episode. Any closing thoughts here?
A little disappointed they didn't release all this stuff on May the 4th, but cool, whatever.
Yeah, about a month away for that. Yeah. All right, cool, guys. This has been an episode of The Torrent. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Well, that's it for this episode of The Torrent. Thank you all for listening. Download, rate, and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast service. If you want to get in contact with us, feel free to send us an email, thetorrentpodcast@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter @TheTorrentPod. We'll see you guys next time.